Family, family, family. We gotta talk. I think I cracked the code. And I made one or two videos about this situation, but I think I spoke too soon, y'all. I really do. We know that some people say you gotta do certain things to stay in a certain position. And I think bro stepped outside the box. And what we're gonna discuss today is why. But the influence for this video was Art of Dialogue and Dr. Umar. They conducted an interview. I assessed it, and I just cut out some key talking points. But all I'm gonna say right now is BET Award speech and Angie Stone's funeral. Now, if Angie couldn't get her funds, allegedly if she couldn't get her funds from who owed them, I think they might not be too happy with whoever helped her. And this is one thing that I said in some videos that I covered about her and the situation, and when I seen that he said what he said at that funeral. Anyway, let's check out this first clip. This is Dr. Umar on Art of Dialogue. Let's get it.
We got to deal with Tyler. We got to deal with Tyler. When you talk about the jealousy that the music industry has for black men, it's insane, bro. It's insane. Tyler Perry goes to the BET Awards. He gives a speech, and he's an excellent orator, by the way. I'm an orator. I study oratory. Tyler Perry could have been a pastor or a community activist. He's a very good speaker, very good public speaker. He says that I've made more millionaires than every other studio in this city combined. That's what he said. And don't you know, I don't know if it was the next day, but it was definitely the same week. All of a sudden, he gets hit with a $260 million lawsuit from Derek Dixon, who met Tyler Perry in 2019 as an employee of an event company. So he was working at one of the events that Tyler Perry contracted this event company to come to and host. He met Tyler Perry there. Tyler Perry invited him to audition for an upcoming show called Ruthless.
All right, now, the jealousy. That's one thing. The key thing I took from this, y'all, is the part where he said he created more millionaires than all of the studios put together. I feel like certain people would like to put a cap on other people, but when you help people progress and become entities themselves, I don't think that that's liked. Because the thing is, bro was already competition for the studios. No matter if he based his content off a lot of the struggles of women in the hood, and I'm just saying that loosely to group a certain group of people together, but I shouldn't have said it like that. Anyway, the jealousy, the making other people millionaires. It's like if you keep, this is just my opinion, if you keep doing this and doing that, soon these people ain't gonna need us. They gonna be ready to do stuff like you and branch out on their own to make studios. So, dude stacked up some cards against him. And one thing that Umar said also was about his speeches and how he gives the speeches. Now, delivery is everything, but the message is another. He said some very, very, very challenging things in both of these speeches. Now, let's get to this next clip of what Umar speaks about.
Tyler Perry allegedly texts Derek Dixon and says, among other things, I can't remember the last time I had really good sex. Now, as a heterosexual male, if another man sends me a text telling me he can't remember the last time he had good sex, I already know that that ain't somebody I need to be around alone, because he clearly got the wrong idea about me. In fact, I'm gonna have to let him know. In the future, fam, I don't need to know about your sex life. So Tyler Perry texts him this. He can't remember the last time he had great sex. And then he invites Derek Dixon to his house. Derek Dixon goes to Tyler Perry's house in Georgia. He says, allegedly, according to the criminal complaint or the civil suit, he says Tyler Perry gave him some drinks. They were talking. He started to feel a little tipsy. It got late. Tyler Perry tells Derek, it's a little too late for you to drive home tonight. You've been drinking. I have a guest bedroom. Come and stay in my guest bedroom. Derek Dixon goes to the guest bedroom. He's tired. He's been drinking. He's ready to get some sleep. He says he lays down. And at some point, Tyler Perry comes into his room, slips into the bed behind him, and start rubbing the inside of his thigh. Now, Art, he don't leave. He don't punch him. He don't get dressed and call a Uber or get in his car and get up out of there. In fact, he goes back to work like nothing happened. You could have sued him right there. But he says, and this is where I think Tyler Perry has some room to stand and defend himself. Derek repeatedly alleges that he was concerned about his job and his career. Well, if you're concerned about your job and your career, and this black man is sexually harassing you, why not turn him in?
Now, preference has nothing to do with that. I'll tell you what has everything to do with that is creating an uncomfortable workplace. If I'm working for you and you're discussing your ex-life with me, that was the moment right there where bro should have stood up. And I don't even see how he got caught up at bro's house with all these rideshare programs out here. You're at a billionaire's house who probably has a driver available. Even if this billionaire does not have a driver available, this billionaire can call you a rideshare. But you're making it this time maybe 10,000 per episode, 10 to 15,000. No, I think it went to 15,000 when he started getting mad at Tyler. But why can't you call your own rideshare? Why do you feel so comfortable to bust down to your tidy whities in somebody else's house? Period. First and foremost, you don't know what's in that man's house. He is a director, so you would assume that there are cameras around. He is a billionaire with estates. Like, you got to make it make sense. That's all I'm saying, y'all. No rideshare programs are called. We didn't hear about an altercation. He went back and worked. So here he is. This dude tells you before y'all link up about his extracurricular activities and what he has or hasn't had, and then invites you over. You still come. Then he allegedly does all this stuff and you don't do nothing and you go back to work. Come on, y'all. Listen, I'm not trying to be on what I used to be on, all that truth stuff, but what I'm really assessing from the situation is that bro, he went against the grain. If this group of people ain't messing with Angie, why are you going to? Did Tyler feel so independent to where he could, I don't know, feel like he could do whatever and there would be no repercussions? But you gotta look at all these things, y'all. You gotta look at what some people are presented or what they reject or things like that before stuff like this go on. Some of them even challenge companies or people. Take that. Now, we're about to move into the third clip. And I got two more clips, but we're going to top it off at the end with Tyler's speech at this funeral. And it really hits different now that we see him going through what he's going through. But if you know, you know. Let's get it.
Allegedly, Tyler Perry was going to provide him with career advancement opportunities. So he says he felt like he had to endure this sexual harassment so it wouldn't mess up his options. As far as I'm concerned, that means you volunteered for it. You volunteered for it. You were willing to accept it because you thought you would get something out of it. Then he says, Art, around June of 2024, Derek Dixon comes to his senses and he decides that Tyler Perry has been lying to me this entire 4.5-year relationship. He's been lying. From 2020 to June of 2021, that's 4.5. He's been lying. So he says once he came to his realization that he'd been lying, he decided to stop showing up for work. He said Tyler Perry told him he had to take an unpaid medical leave.
Isn't it interesting that a lot of these people that are so-called going through these things are enduring these things for career advancement? They're shutting up and letting people take advantage of them in whatever way, shape, or form so they can excel. So now let me add this in the picture. You got somebody that comes to you like, hey, I know you was working for him for this much, but when we do the math, it's only about 17 million. Now we know y'all had some dealings and, tell us about those. Well, we're going to go for 260 million. Worst case scenario, we get 120 million. That would exceed this many times multiplied what you would have made working for this dude. And then your name's going to be hot and you might land other roles. It's a dirty game, y'all. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's something to take into account, especially when you're dealing with situations like this. You were willing to accept it because of what you thought you would get out of it. Doesn't that make you think about take that, and Cassandra, Jane Doe? Imagine giving so much of your time and your presence, your energy, and almost every bit of you to a person that's like stringing you along, but you've already grown acclimated to the lifestyle and the bells and whistles that come with it. So it's maybe hard to walk away and go to a regular life, but you're sitting there giving this person all your time and you get these empty promises. Then you see some hot young chick that's not like you or not like the other one, but they're like the person who's stringing you along and they get everything. Podcast shows and all this crazy promotion and brands and all this stuff. And you're sitting here going through the worst and you're getting nothing but more of the worst. Imagine how that would make somebody turn on a person. And I really feel like they leave it up to the others to make it out, like to make these people that they're going against like monsters, when the whole time they all were allegedly monsters. Anyway, let me shut up. Let's go.
That's when he got with his lawyer, and that's when he decided to sue. Here's where I'm at. Same mistake as Smokey, same mistake as Shannon. Tyler Perry wasn't taking care of him. Allegedly, Art. Because Tyler Perry has not admitted to being bisexual. He has not admitted to any of these crimes. So I'm saying allegedly. If what this man is saying is true, Tyler Perry made the same mistake as Smokey Robinson, Shannon Sharpe, and so many other black men dating non-black people. You didn't take care of him. From what I read, Art, he was being paid $10,000 an episode. And then when he got upset with Tyler Perry, allegedly, he went up to $15,000 an episode or maybe $25,000 an episode. However that go, don't quote me. But initially, he was only getting about 10 grand. Here we go again, Art. Smokey Robinson. If you want these women to be your girl toys, Tyler Perry, allegedly, if you want Derek Dixon to be your boy toy, $10,000 an episode for a billionaire is not going to cut it. I believe, Art, that Derek Dixon, who claims he never had intercourse with Tyler. That's going to be a big thing, Art, because when I was reading the civil complaint, it doesn't appear that Derek Dixon ever admitted to having any type of relation with Tyler Perry.
You stop showing up for work when you're not getting what you feel you were promised. But you kept on showing up to work when this dude was doing things, allegedly doing things you didn't want done. You gotta really make that make sense. So we can't say he was scared to walk away, because once he didn't get the bells and whistles, he walked away. Umar is making some great points, y'all. I've never really gotten into his commentary, but he's making some very, very great points. And it's a lot of stuff you can't ignore because of what we always see often, allegedly. I don't think this has to do with color of skin, because we can refer back to Mike Tyson and the Givens chick. I forgot her name. Angela Givens? Robin Givens. Yeah. So I don't think it's about a color. I think it's about a mentality. I think it's about a certain hunger or a certain thirst. And now this is the thing though. We all feel slighted when we're not provided what we're promised or told we would get. So I could imagine these things happening and a person feeling reduced to little to nothing. And they're just like, you know what? I'm fed up. I'm blah, blah, blah. Let's go. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And that's it. I can really see that. I can really see that. All right. Now, these next 2 points, y'all, key in on them. Pay attention.
That's like, Art, you dating a woman and a woman says, you ain't getting these panties until you buy me a car. And you keep trying to get the panties. You keep trying to get the panties. She said, I'm not giving you no panties until you buy me a car. You buy her the car, you get the panties. If you don't buy the car, you don't get the panties. I simply think Derek Dixon was not a cheap hoe, Art. Tyler Perry didn't keep his end of the bargain, so he never let him smash. He never let him smash, period. Tyler Perry thought he was going to get him before he fulfilled his part of the bargain. Derek Dixon wasn't a cheap hoe. He said, you ain't going to play me cheap. You're going to give me my own show, and if you don't, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep all the text messages. I'm going to keep all the exchange. Just like the Mexicans with Smokey, just like Gabrielle with Shannon, I'm going to keep all the information, Art. And if I don't get my own show, guess what I'm going to do? Run to the lawyers and sue you for $260 million. These wealthy black men, Art, need to learn. You cannot deal with non-African women the way you deal with African women. Our sisters are burdened by racism.
Come on, y'all. You got to think rational about this. I'm going to tell you what makes this so easy. If this is a thing, what makes it so easy to be done is that people like myself and others, we love hot new stories. And once you sway the perception of the public opinion, it can make a person look a certain way. It can make others bend to think the same thing that you're thinking or claiming that you think. We gotta be really careful with these situations, because at the end of the day, everybody we see going through these situations, as far as the people that are filing these situations, they were starving artists. And I use the word starving heavily because look at what's going on. Now, I feel like there has to be a cap to avoid things like this. It is so not fair that if these people feel so taken advantage of, that they don't do anything and they wait till opportunities go to try to hold a person accountable. I don't think that's fair. I really don't. And I'm not trying to side with these people that are being accused, but it's about being rational. Because if a wrong is done, that wrong needs to be addressed right then and there. Don't put a bunch of money or opportunities and material things ahead of what's right or what's wrong. you don't get your end of the bargain or alleged bargain and this and that, or you don't land that road and you want to say, hey, he did this to me. It's been going on for 1,300 years. I got the text messages, the stone scribes and everything to provide the proof. Like, no. Why didn't you stand up then? Period. There needs to be some type of cap, y'all. Now, this last clip, before we get into that speech, pay attention.
Tyler Perry allegedly wanted booty. Derek Dixon allegedly wanted his own show. The only problem, Art, is what? The only person who had something to lose was Tyler Perry. Smokey Robinson. The only person who had something to lose was Smokey Robinson. Shannon Sharp. The only person who had something to lose was Shannon Sharp. Gabrielle Zuniga was her OnlyFans model. Stop dating women outside your race. And if you're going to date women outside your race, make sure, Art, they have as much to lose as you do. Because media is powerful and controlling the way black people think and feel is powerful. Tyler Perry has that ability in his hands. I just don't want him to throw it away, because if he keep on getting hit with these lawsuits, I'm gonna have to cancel him from my list. Not cancel him generally, but cancel him from a Mount Rushmore. But Tyler Perry could hit that Mount Rushmore if he do the right thing. I hate to see this for him. I hate to see this for Smokey. I hate to see this for Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp.
Now, I'm sure y'all heard the R word. It's not about the R word. Part of it is about the character of these people, both parties, the accused and the accusers, but it's about also having as much to lose as you. I think it is based on those things more than anything else. Honestly, I just think, well, some people say we might get the short end of the stick, and I could see that. I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but I could also go through and list a few of the women that were just like us that did these same things, y'all. I feel like this is extortion to a certain extent. Real talk. Anyway, let's get into the clip where he did the speech at the funeral. I'm not going to pause and interrupt. I'm going to let you guys hear it out. And if you made it to this point, say I made it. But when we're done with the speech, I need you guys to hit the comments and let me know your real thoughts. Let me know where you're tapping in from, and I'm out. Peace.
Record labels and people not paying folks. But anyway, she told, Taraji said she took her in the corner and she sung a song for her in that club. That's the heart of a person. That's the soul of a person who cared about her fans, who cared about getting paid. You know, I was being interviewed by this woman once, and she was telling me, she said, Tyler, y'all gotta forgive me because I'm angry at the way she was treated. I did not know all the things that she was going through. Recently, I found out, because I'm not on Instagram. I'm not being hooked and manipulated by an algorithm telling me what to think and how to feel. So I don't see everything. But to think that this woman was in the business for all of these years, and there's a difference between performing because you want to and performing because you have to. All of those years, all of those songs, all of that money that was owed to her, where is it? It's wrong. It is wrong. And I'm tired of seeing us struggle and go through things and work hard and not reap the benefits of what we were supposed to reap. But you got to be careful when you start mistreating people, especially children of God, because the Bible says, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm.